Hi, and welcome to the first of our PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds videos. This video is designed to just give you a little taste of the game. So if you've already been playing the game for ages, it's not the video for you. This is more if you're thinking about buying it, then it'll give you a bit of an insight into it before you part with your hard-earned cash. So to summarise, PUBG, as we're going to call it going forwards, it's a battle royale kind of game, so it pitches 100 players against each other. You can either play solo in teams of 2 or teams of 4, and it is either last man or last team standing. Starts with quite a big map, gradually shrinks. You're forced to come together, forced to come into contact with each other and fight it out. You start with no weapons whatsoever. The only things you can sort of customise your character with is how they look. You can get bits and bobs of cosmetic stuff with in-game currency. There's no microtransactions that I've seen so far. That might come, who knows. Really fantastic game. Take a look and see what you think. So we're going to start off with the lobby area and we'll take it from there. So in this lobby area, you'll see all the other players that are going to be in your game, just all running around, probably shooting each other and in various states of undress. You can come over here. These lots of weapons and things you can have a play around with. You don't take these into the main game, so don't worry if someone's picked up a gun and you haven't. It's a great opportunity if you're new just to have a fiddle with the controls, just to get more familiar with different things. So you're going to be in here for up to a minute. That minute flies by, and then you'll see it moves into the next phase of the. So this is the first phase of the game, parachuting and then into looting. So you'll see here's the map of the whole island. That little icon there is the plane where it is at the moment, so it's going to fly a straight path across. Just choose an area where you're going to land. Once you've played it a few times, you'll have an idea of where there are some really popular areas where you might have a bit of time to be on your own. There are a few areas that are more likely to contain decent loot. We're not going to explore that in this video, but if you did want to explore that, then there's plenty of other videos online doing it. So once you pick your destination, you're going to jump out of the plane and we're going to skydive down to where we want to go. Now you may see other people skydiving around you, so you've still got time to change your destination if you want to. If you're feeling pretty confident though, it's also a good opportunity to to take people out quite early. If you're lucky enough to get in there and get a gun, then good on you. So what we're going to do when we land is all of these buildings may or may not contain loot. So like we said to begin with, you start with nothing, just the clothes on your back. As soon as you touch down, you want to be legging it to the nearest building and seeing what's inside. So you can get there's loads of weapons. There's pistols, there's melee weapons, there's different assault rifles, some machine guns, there's sniper rifles, there's crossbows, there's grenades, all sorts of things. Also, while you're looting, you'll find there's backpacks. There's bulletproof vests, there's helmets you can use, there's level 1 to 3 in all of those things. Obviously the higher level, the slightly better it's going to be. So whether it's a backpack that gives you more space, or a helmet that gives you more protection, or a bulletproof vest that gives you more protection. Also, while you're scavenging around, you can find scopes and different things to improve your weapons. So you'll probably, to begin with, find yourself picking up everything and running out of room in your inventory, so you won't have any room for ammo. All I can say is trial and error. Find what works for you. See which guns you like the feel of, what you're more accurate with. Only you can decide that. So we'll leave you to make your own mind up there. You can spend an awful lot of time looting. It can be quite fun, if I'm honest, quite addictive. However, that's not the point of the game. The game is to obviously be the last man standing or the last team standing. So with that in mind, we're going to move on to the next phase. So next, talking about this circle of death. Okay, so once you finish looting, which you can spend hours and hours doing, you can go and hopefully try and kill everybody. So we need to be careful. So the next thing we're going to talk about is the circle of death. Now the circle of death is designed to gradually restrict the gameplay area over the course of the game to force players together. If not, it could be pretty boring. Gradually get smaller over the course of the game. We'll show you that on a map in a second. And what you'll find is if you're caught outside of it, there is a barrier that gradually shrinks to the size of that play area, and if you're caught outside the barrier, your character will take damage. The later on in the game you get, the more damage you're going to take, so it's definitely within your interest to get in there. Obviously, the smaller the circle gets, the closer you are to other players, and the more frantic it can get. So we'll go ahead and we'll show you some of that in game. So here we are in game, and as you can see on the map, there's this big white circle. That is going to be the restricted area shortly. So when the game starts, you can use the whole map. However, you have a time limit to get within that circle. So you'll see above the little mini map there was a counter there about 2 minutes 22. We need to make sure within this white area, ideally before that time gets to 0. When that time gets to 0, a big blue barrier is basically going to shrink down over the map to that size of that white circle we saw first of all. So it moves quite slowly in the early stages in the game. As you go further and further on, it can move quicker. If you're on the inside of the blue barrier, you're not going to take, well, you're fine just carry on as you are. If you're on the outside, you are going to start to take damage, and that damage gets stronger the further the game goes on. So it pushes all the players together. So you can see here, a bit later in the game, the circle is a lot smaller, the play area is a lot smaller. Pushes all the players together, which means you can't just avoid each other all the time. It makes for really, really exciting. And there's a little bit of footage of the barrier itself, and we're going to go outside of the barrier and you'll see the health bar starting to drop, and then we go back in, it's fine. And we'll show you one more time. So you can see up ahead we've got the barrier, so I'm just going to run towards it, and I've gone through it, and you'll see our health is starting to drop. Now this is really early in the game, so the barrier is moving pretty slowly, so we can outrun it. I think I'm right in saying that near at the end the barrier moves quickly. I know I've been caught out by it quite a few times, so do be careful. And now finally we're just going to have a look at some combat, and this is what it's all about after all. So here's just some times where I've managed to kill people, also plenty of times where I've been killed. If you do like what you've seen and you want to see more PlayerUnknown Battleground stuff, please give us a thumbs up, give us a subscribe. If you think the video's rubbish, tell us why in the comments below, and then we can only get better. Thanks for watching, take care now.
Whereabouts is it? Yo. Beck found the guy. Just go look at the doorstep.
Yeah, literally.
I think he was there stuff like you and the detective shot him.
I was just about to say, there's a guy here. Crossbow.
Right, let me get his gun.
Nice. You've got no ammo. X, punch him to death. Press X, punch him to death. There you go. Oh, there's his mate. No!